call the jungle doctor. Fishnet stockings, high-heeled shoes, tassel G-string voodoo. What? Tarzan and Cheetah too? Oh, got to call the jungle doctor. Tanzania, Tuvalu, Headhunters, now I'm in a stew. Oh, got to call the jungle doctor.
Aloha everyone, and welcome to another episode of TuneInTiki. I am the Jersey Pineapple, joined with
Dr. Diz, of course.
And we are live here from Coco Mama and Cozumel, filming another episode. We're so excited, and we're going to introduce our guest.
Yes, we are here presenting everybody to Mexico City's own Izzy Ortega. All right, Izzy, thank you so much for being with us today. Now, let's start out with just a simple question. You know, early beginnings, what made it tick? What brought you, like your Kickstarter, into this world?
Hola, well, thank you so much, first of all, for having me. I'm so excited. I got to know you guys when I heard that you were coming to Cozumel, and I started following you, and I was like so into the Tiki Monday mug. I was like, oh my god. And I actually wanted to bring one, and I told her, she was like, do not do that because they get lost. That I didn't. But I do have some mugs I want to show, maybe sometime in another TuneInTiki episode. But my early beginnings, what got me to being a bartender, were such a long time ago. My parents opened a restaurant near a college, so I started like bartending tables when I was like, not bartending, waitering tables, when I was around 15 years old, and I really got into the whole hospitality thing, you know, talking to people and having fun. And I started working in pubs, and then I started to travel. I moved to the Playa del Carmen when I was 17, 18, and I started working in nightclubs. And that was where it really brought me like, so yes, bartending, but also I'm making a lot of money. I'm able to afford a car, I'm able to party and not depend on anyone. And so it's great for me. I love the whole type of vibe. Us Mexicans were very like, you know, like fiesta, and that for me was like, at the time, the most, the thing that brought me the most. And then I remember I was here in Playa and I started getting to know more about bartenders and actual classic cocktails. I remember the first classic cocktail, well not, I tried the classic Tiki cocktails, but the actual first classic cocktail that I had was a Negroni. And that like blew my mind because since the beginning you're always like, your palate is always changing. So for me, it was like, yes, I got into like piña colada, margarita, and that sort of thing. But then when I went into more bitter stuff, that really brought me like, oh my God, this is great. And then I moved, I'm from the city, I was born in Mexico City, but I've moved a lot. My dad, he was a bullfighter, so I traveled all around Mexico. Didn't go to school much, so that wasn't really important for me. And then I moved to Puebla, they started doing the restaurant, and when I moved to Mexico City back, it was like, I think 9 years ago, started working in cocktail bars, and that really was when I truly started to be passionate about the labels, the products, the definition of hospitality. And I started working in a speakeasy, and then I started working with brands. I worked for a rum brand. That is what got me truly into Tiki. Yeah, I love the whole pinup vibe. I used to roller derby, so everything got like, I think like everything was connected with me. And I love doing Tiki cocktails. I love doing like photos and trying different things. And then, but also giving it like a bitterness, which is my Instagram name. I really like to bring bitterness into each thing I do, no matter if it's like Tiki or classic cocktail or fresh. I always love doing that, and now making cocktails, I work with agave a lot now, and I try to replicate a lot of the classic cocktails and bring agave into the table. So like agave piña colada, agave bijou. Now it's like a really fashion, like the tequila martini, like bringing really like Shanna was saying, like pretty sure if people had the produce available, they would have done it. So it's, for me, it's always like, oh yeah, this cocktail with tequila or agave or raicilla or sotol. There's so many different types of ways to bring the bases because everything has practically been done. Everything is a base, but just bringing agave into it. And yeah, that's what I've been doing for a long time now.
The Jungle Bird, one of my favorite cocktails. The 1978 cocktail that was created at the Aviary Bar at the Kuala Lumpur Hilton in Malaysia was originally handed out to welcoming guests. The name was inspired by the colorful birds that were all nestled around through the backdrop. Now, what makes this drink so good? It was almost responsible for the new resurgence and boom of the 70s for the tropical and tiki cocktail. The perfect marriage of tropical fruit juices. I am always leaning on something that's more like on the citrusy side, not overly sweet, but somehow the Jungle Bird has found a way to grab the bitterness of the blood orange by putting the Campari, enriching it with sweet fruit notes of the pineapple juice, and accentuating the dark aged rum that goes into it. To me, sweetness, bitterness, tart, married together, oh, now that is the perfect cocktail.
So, tell us about Speed Rack. We want to know all about this competition.
Yeah. So Speed Rack was born in 2011. It was born in New York by the founders, Ivy Mix and Annette Marrero. And it was a way for them to highlight women behind the bar because there were cocktail competitions like World Class and so on, but there weren't a lot of women signing up, and the men were just like, why? And Lynette and Ivy were like, we know so many women that are badasses behind the bar. So they did that platform and mashed it in, it is a cocktail competition, but they're raising funds, in this case, for breast cancer awareness. So they've been raising over $1 million now in these 11 seasons that they've had in the US, and it has been growing a lot. It's happening, of course, in the US, but it has happened Australia, Hong Kong. They did Cayman Island 2 years ago, Puerto Rico for Puerto Rico Cocktail Week. We launched Speed Rack Mexico in 2018, and the plan has always been to expand because like the cocktail culture, it's growing so much, right? So when me and my business partner, my work wife, Lisa Mulligan, we wanted to bring Speed Rack to Mexico many years ago, but we didn't have so much women behind the bar. And so this was like 7 years ago, and Lynette and I were like, we feel like it's not there yet. So we waited, and then it was time, and we brought the platform, and we've done it 3 years now, and it's been great. The first year was a lot of the bad girls like that are doing so much now that we're starting sort of. And this each year after year has grown so much, and we see so many young talent. They're always like so young now, like 18, 22, you know, and they're so good at it. And every time it grows, they really train and they really bring like an essence. And I've been to New Orleans last year for my first US Speed Rack. And I feel like Mexico is amazing. If you ever come to Speed Rack Mexico, it's so great. The whole vibe, the whole scene that we bring, like the spice that we do is amazing. The girls are such badasses. We did a tour here in Riviera Maya, Guadalajara. You know, we have girls from all over signing up. And the winner we had in Mexico this year, she's going to Jerez, España. Just like on a little trip. The first one went to, it's not Russia, it's, I can't remember. I don't want to say it. She wants some. So it's always great prizes, right? And also it's about education. One of the girls, they went in the US, they gave out like bar education, which I think is great. We did a mentorship program during COVID. We're all about like giving back. It's a platform that raises funds. And in Mexico, we work a lot with gender. So the things we do raise funds for breast cancer. We also raise funds for women who have suffered violence or planning to get out violent relationships. And yeah, we do all about the fundraising. We're all about the girl power. We're all about being badasses behind the bar. That's what Speed Rack is basically.
All right, so Izzy, what's the future hold for the Bitter League? What can we expect to see upcoming now in the future for you?
So more bitterness, of course. I get more bitter each year. But I work a lot with brands. I don't know what's next. Still figuring it out because I do freelance. I don't work behind a bar anymore. I'm a mom. I don't work behind a bar because I thought I wasn't gonna work so much, but now I work 24/7. But it's great. I don't know what's gonna be next. I get to travel a lot because of my work. I get to work with a lot of brands. I'm always meeting new people. So there's always new projects happening, which I'm really excited, and I feel like the culture has grown so much that I get to do what I do in Mexico, where I thought like I can't do this now, and I feel like I've opened my own path. You know, after COVID, after figuring it all out, like I'm a mom now, I can't be behind the bar, but I don't know how to do anything else. So I didn't go to like college or anything, so the bar is all I've known. So I'm so happy that if we are expanding into a lot of new things. So I don't know, we'll see.
We'll see. Awesome. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today on this episode of TuneInTiki. We want to thank you and
Thank you, Izzy.
Coco Mama.
Well, for letting us be here.
And we're so excited to see what you have next.
Now,
Stay tuned.
we're gonna put on the link below, Speed Rack. Definitely go check it out. Please, everybody, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to our channel. Make sure to let your voices be heard. Our guest today was Izzy Ortega. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And until next time.
Stay tuned, everybody.
Yeah.
Aloha, listeners.
Please check out our Patreon, the 1944 Society.
What's that?
Well, Christina, if you know, you know.
Subscribe for more, everyone. Patreon.com/TuneInTiki.